So I'm joined with the man from the fence, the one and only Jordan Gill. Nice to have you on Slothbox, mate. But mate, I'm just going to get straight into it. It's finally here. That shot at the European title. How does it feel to finally? It's just around the corner, mate.
We're close. We're so close. Yeah, it's not far away now. It's within touching distance. So I've got everything crossed. I'm looking forward to it. I've been training hard. So yeah, I'm excited that my chance has finally come.
Obviously, it's supposed to be last year, and I know you're frustrated when it did get called off. But you had a tricky bloke come in to replace him, and it gave you a horrific cut. Mate, when the fight got stopped, you must have felt like the most unluckiest boxer in the year at that time.
Yeah, I felt unlucky. It was one of them things. It can just happen, can't it? These head clashes happen. He was coming with his head. I was defending and lifted up with my head a little bit. We clashed heads. I was fully in control of the fight, and yeah, it was a horrific cut. They had to stitch around the arteries. It was that deep. They said it was lucky that it weren't on my face. Otherwise, it would have been a plastic surgery job, and then I would have been out until probably May and lost my shot at the European title. But that's the only positives you can take is the fact
Yeah.
that it was on top of my head. It healed up very well, very quickly. Only put me out for a week really, and we got straight back to it and didn't lose that mandatory position for the Europeans. So it's not been a too long a wait, and I can look forward to putting a good dent into 2022 and making some positive moves.
But mate, so obviously got called off the first time. But so what, you've been in camp now for like 4 or 5 months? How's the preparation going?
Well, I think I've been mandatory 10 months for this fight. By the time the fight will come round, I'll have been mandatory for the title for 10 months. And initially, I was mandatory for Anthony Gargo, who sneaks in a voluntary, because he defended his title to his mandatory against Gavin McDonnell, and that ended in a technical draw as well. So because he just boxes mandatory, even though the EBU instated me as a mandatory challenger, he was allowed they applied for a voluntary, and he was allowed a voluntary. And for some strange reason, they chose Karim Gurfi, which as soon as they announced the fight, so we were so close to announcing the fight between me and Gargo, because as far as I was told, I was his next fight, I was his next challenger. So I'd been sparring for the fight. I think Eddie had said that, oh, we're going to announce this week, and it was meant to be last August. So I remember getting out of the ring sparring, and I sat on the side of the ring, and it just turned on my phone because I had a few notifications on Twitter. So I was thinking, oh, like, let's have a look. And I seen a boxing poster, and had Gargo on it. And I thought, oh, brilliant, they've announced it early. So I looked at the poster, and I thought, that's not me. And I thought, these cheeky bastards. So yeah, as soon as they announced the fight, I was thinking, why would they pick Gurfi as a defense? But because I thought Gurfi had beat Gargo hands down, and he did beat him. So I was right. And now I've been mandatory for him for a while. We was meant to fight back end of last year. He got COVID, and that got postponed. And we had the 8-rounder, and then obviously, sorry, someone's ringing me. And then what happened? Yeah, I had the 8-rounder, and then there was no boxing in January as well. So it's just one thing after another.
Like we say, mate, it's just round the corner. I bet you can't wait to get your hands on him. But more importantly, the title, mate.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal. There's nothing personal between me and Gurfi. It's just the fact that he's got what I want. He's the champion. He is the European champion, and that's the title that I want. So I've got to go and beat the champion to become the champion, and that's the plan.
So say you get what you want, providing you come through and you win the belt. It's only just the start of the year for yourself. Where do you see yourself come the end of the year? A domestic clash, a title eliminator, a world title? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the doors will open. That's the thing. When you win a European title, you'll be sort of top 10 in probably every governing body. So the doors will open. The big fights will be there. It's a big fight between myself and Gurphy. He's an established pro. He's a good champion. He's 4 or 5 time European champion, and they don't give these belts away. So beating him proves my level. It proves that I'm European level and beyond. So I'm looking forward to getting this win. I'm not looking past him at all. And then seeing where we're at. But the doors will definitely open, whether it's a defence of the European, whether it's a world title eliminator, or you never know in boxing, you can just get a shot out of nowhere. So we'll wait and see. But my sole goal is to win this fight and look good doing it.
I know you say you don't want to look too far ahead of him, but how far are we from seeing you step out at the Posh Ground, mate? Mate, that will be some event, you with a city behind you. What's it going to take for Eddie Hearn to give you that bloody fight, mate?
I don't know,
Posh Ground.
I think the thing is with that, usually, Eddie will say to go to a football stadium, you need a world title. And 9 times out of 10, I'd agree. But I think in this situation, being like the fact that Posh, a sellout Posh would be 15,000 people, and the fact that it is where it is, it's not like a London, it's not a Birmingham or a Manchester, Liverpool. These types of events don't come around too often in our city, in our area. So everyone would get behind it. Everyone would love it. I think we could sell out the stadium with a good card for defence of the European. But I think being realistic, I think we'll have to wait for a world title fight or a world title defence probably.
But are those conversations being had? Are you nagging him? Come on, Eddie, I need that fight in Peterborough, mate.
He knows I want to go back to Peterborough. It was a good time last time. We had a good time. It was a good night. It was a night I'll never forget. And I think it's a conversation for after the Gurphy fight. I can have a quiet word with him and say, look, this is what we've got, mate.